Are you ready?
A Shot of Wrestling, episode 190. And the wait, go.
Rachel, get a shot, boy. Is that the best that you got? We about to go live. Are you ready to rock? So take a shot. Oh, so take a shot. Oh, yeah. I'm a street breaker. I'm a heartbreaker. This is my dawn. I'm a Ramon Razor. Strict land, nature boy. About to seek and destroy. It's an SOW. Let me hear you make noise. Take a shot, boy. Is that the best that you got? We about to go live. Are you ready to rock? So take a shot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 190 of A Shot of Wrestling. I'm your host at Michael J. Buddy. Happy Thanksgiving. Joining me, as always, someone I am thankful for, the Hollywood assassin, Marc Chouen.
You're such a dick.
Well, I said I was thankful for you.
No, it's Marc Chouen.
That's what I said.
No, you said Marc Chouen.
I wouldn't say that.
You're an asshole.
That's fucked up.
Everyone else heard this.
That's messed up.
It's messed
I
up.
just said I was thankful for you.
You're thankful for making a mockery of my last name.
I would never do that to you.
Of course.
We're best friends.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we're not best friends?
I thought we were.
My feelings are hurt.
I thought we were, but here we are, giving me the shitty treatment once again.
Oh.
Not giving me the proper intro.
Poor you. Why don't you give me an intro for once?
Because this is your show, putty.
Give me an intro for once.
Okay.
Introduce me.
You want me to introduce
Yeah.
you? Sure, yeah, it's done. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to A Shot of Wrestling. This is yours truly, the Hollywood assassin, your favorite actor, Marc Chouen. And joining me today is my best friend, the man himself. He's wearing the T-shirt, ladies and gentlemen, Michael J. Putty. Putty, how's it going today?
That was way better. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no
I'm not
problem.
feeling fantastic after that intro.
See? See, don't you feel a lot better after
A
that?
lot better.
Okay.
Next time, I apologize. We'll do that. I'll get that working on for you. But anyway, it was Thanksgiving yesterday. How you feeling? Did you have a good time? How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, God, I'm so full still. I think like everyone else.
Your eyes do look a little glazed over and still not food coma.
Right? Yeah, I feel it.
What you guys do? You went to your family's house, her family's house? Blend?
Every year we alternate, actually.
Smart,
So
okay.
we do dinner at one place, and then we do dessert at the next.
Oh, okay, that's smart.
Yeah. Since my family and her family only live like 10 minutes apart,
Okay.
so it's just easy.
I don't remember who it is. I knew people who would celebrate Thanksgiving at the wife's house, the wife's family's house, then Christmas at the husband's family's house, and then vice versa next year.
Yeah, so with that, actually, Christmas Eve is like a big deal.
Oh, this is your first holiday as a married couple.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It is, yeah. Christmas Eve is a big deal with my family, not so much hers. But Christmas Day is a big deal with her family, not so much mine.
That makes it easier.
So, yeah, it makes it very easy. And then actually the last couple of years, it's only my mom and dad, really, during Christmas Day. My brother does his own thing. So, Christmas Day, past couple of years, her family invited my parents over.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you? Talk to me about your Thanksgiving, your holidays.
Well, for personal reasons you know of, we didn't really have a really fancy Thanksgiving.
Right.
My mother and brother went to a diner.
A diner.
We had stuff to do. I don't want my mother to cook.
Okay.
So I went to a diner.
How is the vibe at a diner for Thanksgiving?
Not too bad.
Yeah?
There's a couple diners around here, and they're popping. There was one that's really packed. It was like a waiting line.
On Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
For dinner?
And this is like at 8 o'clock.
Really?
So I go to this place. There's no wait. We get there. They have a special menu. I'm not a big turkey guy. I'm more like sides. All I wanted was mashed potatoes.
Listen, I think that's the thing. I heard someone today for the first time say they look forward to the turkey. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Like, a lot of us, like, I was hanging out with one of my best friends since, like, God knows when, today, earlier before, and we're just talking about that. Him and I, our favorite thing is the stuffing.
It's all about the sides.
Yeah. All about the sides.
Turkey. Get the fuck out of here.
Like, turkey? Really?
So go to the
Come on.
diner. I'm thinking about getting maybe a turkey burger. But my mother used to make the best meatloaf.
Oh, okay.
I grew up on her meatloaf. It's my favorite thing in the world. You know, she's at the age where it's a lot hard to make, so she doesn't make it anymore. She buys pre-made meatloaf.
So it's not the same.
Yeah.
Right.
So I see meatloaf with mashed potatoes on the menu. I'm like, yo, that's what I've been craving for this. Let's do this.
Right.
It comes out.
No, it's not good.
It's meatloaf, and in the meatloaf, it's like full of onions and celery. It's full of all this crunchy green shit.
Right. Not the way your mom made it,
No.
of course.
Which I expect. I've ordered meatloaf other places, and it's been delicious.
Right.
This is dry,
Oh,
dry and
no.
crunchy. I'm like, just let me go home so I can get a drink.
Aw, poor Putty.
So this Thanksgiving, happy it's over with. But my thing, too, about this is nobody appreciates Thanksgiving.
I appreciate
The
Thanksgiving.
week I was off, a couple weeks ago when you guys did the show with Green Man and Jimmy J,
Yeah.
Jimmy Diners, I heard on the radio Christmas music. There's a station here in New York, Light FM, 24 hours, nonstop Christmas music, all of December.
Can I also just say, you want to talk about this right now? That day we did at Abel's place,
Yeah.
right? Abel had his Christmas tree fully up, fully lit.
That's disgusting.
I was, dude, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
We're nowhere close to
No,
Thanksgiving
it's
yet.
November.
Why is it? He's well, next month is December. I'm like, right,
Next month, yeah.
next month.
And it's just so annoying. It kind of takes away from the speciality of Thanksgiving.
Right.
And Light FM used to play Christmas music after Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving. But now they're doing it 2 weeks ahead of time?
Let's
Overload.
slow everyone's roll here for a
Please.
second. Enjoy Thanksgiving.
No,
Enjoy
yeah.
the time. And then the day after is Black Friday. It's Christmas season.
Even now, it's still November. By the time the show airs, it'll be December. Play what you want to play. Decorate what you want to decorate. But this is just I've been a pet peeve of mine for years now. It's growing and growing, worse and worse.
I'm with you, man. It is getting worse and worse. I feel like as soon as Halloween is over, I'm starting to see Christmas shit.
I think I saw Christmas shit before Halloween was even there.
It's fucking wild.
Yeah, so I saw the Halloween candy and like the Christmas decorations coming up.
Yeah.
Like, isn't Thanksgiving still a thing?
Right.
God, so
But you know what? The only thing that they make a profit of on Thanksgiving is the turkey, really. That's the popular thing. No one's going to, like, really, there's no Thanksgiving treats type of deal.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe that's the thing. Christmas is more profitable.
And also, the Catholic in me, the good Catholic boy that I am, born and raised.
I feel like you put out, like, a Tinder profile right here.
Maybe. if anyone bites, at Marc J. Putty.
I'm a good Catholic boy.
We celebrate the real meaning of the season, the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
On Thanksgiving?
Christmas.
Okay.
Which means you have to keep the decorations up until Little Christmas, which is 2 weeks after. So I see people like tear down their Christmas trees and lights on the 26th. I'm like, bro, come on. You're a fake Christmas person.
I think I might be in that category because so 2 weeks after.
Yeah, and maybe because of the way I was brought up, too. We always decorated our house like a week or two before Christmas.
Uh-huh.
Because we got to keep it up until the second week of January.
Why?
The Feast of the Epiphany, it's when the three wise men finally made their way to the manger, which is Little Christmas because they gave their presents to Jesus.
Interesting. I see. I'm a very bad Catholic boy, actually. I actually dropped out for religion. I never did the confirmation thing. I was a bad boy, dude.
I could tell. It's all bullshit anyway. Who cares? But anyway, happy Thanksgiving. Now we are officially on the road to Christmas.
Yes, is that the thing? We're in the road to Christmas.
Yeah, I guess so. We always use the road to WrestleMania, I guess.
Yeah. I'm going to point at the Christmas tree right now.
Anyway, we talk all night about our Thanksgiving. We're here about wrestling. Want to get some news?
Yes, let's talk about the news.
What a busy week this was.
Yeah.
It's time for In the News with Michael J. Putty and Marc Chouen.
And that was one of those schmucks who had work on Friday after Thanksgiving. Like, I'm the minority of idiots. And everyone's...
I don't know why I had a feeling you were working today.
His fucking banks are open. Oh, we're still recording. Hey, welcome back. Off-air discussion. We're getting some news.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about, right? News?
Is this for real? Yeah.
Mauro missed Survivor Series. Michael Cole had to fill in for him. Saying he was so passionate about War Games, he blew out his voice. Which I understand because War Games was awesome. We'll get into that later. Corey Graves, however, took to Twitter during War Games to criticize Mr. Ronaldo, saying, and I quote, "Just for the record, guys, I know you wouldn't know it, but there's actually a WWE Hall of Famer and a former Ring of Honor champion on commentary. I imagine they have a lot to offer." And when asked about the many Chicago rap references, he said far, far too many. Well, that apparently set Mauro off, who has a history, well-documented history of mental illness, deleted his Twitter, didn't show up to Survivor Series, and he's now battling his disease. You were talking about, before the show started, about your opinion on this. The floor is yours, my friend.
It's a tweet.
Two tweets.
It's two tweets. It is criticizing your work. I actually do agree with Corey Graves. I think Mauro is a little too much sometimes. I think,
but isn't like Michael Cole sometimes?
No. I feel like there's a fair balance.
Okay.
With Mauro, I feel like all I hear is Mauro. Even my wife, who is not a big wrestling fan, was here. Like, man, this guy.
Really? See, I don't pick up on that. Okay.
This guy's not letting anyone talk. Is anyone else out there with him? I'm like, yeah, 2 other people.
Really?
Wow, I would never know.
So a casual wrestling fan noticed that.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying too much attention. I didn't really notice, but
like he's not. And I also noticed Mauro's not listening at all to the other people. Like,
really? Okay.
That's what. As someone that's doing commentary, I'm picking up on this stuff because I like to study commentary now more than ever.
He's one of the greatest. He's one of the best right now in the business.
I would say he's overrated. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he has amazing passion for it. I will give him that. He does have a good voice.
Someone who has been told very monotone, and as you guys can tell, that's true. I'm well aware that I'm monotone. There's not too much inflection in my voice. It doesn't go up too much. I'm not talking about Batista. But this guy's off the charts with the
passion. But it might be a little too much sometimes. He's got real talent. It's about the levels. There's different levels when it comes to commentary. And just like in wrestling or any type of storytelling, there's different levels. And I think Mauro a lot of times, is just like too extra to the point where Nigel and Beth Phoenix are drowned out, and he's not letting them talk. He's monopolizing the conversation. It's almost like Joey Styles.
Okay.
And Joey Styles was by himself, and it worked. If Mauro was by himself, this would work. But he's got to have some give and take here. And it would actually make him a better commentator. That's why I say he's overrated. I'm not saying he's a bad commentator, by the way. I think people take that out of context.
I didn't take that way. Okay.
No, I know you didn't, but I think people would take that out of context. I don't think he's a bad commentator. I think people say he's the greatest right now. I would say he's overrated because a good commentator, a great commentator, would listen. They would know how to hit the gas and go on a break a little bit, And I think Mauro's just his foot is heavy on that pedal, man.
I don't want to play around or talk about mental illness. I mean, it's a touchy subject, especially these days.
It is a touchy subject, but like the fact is, like the wrestling business, as an entertainer, the entertainment business in general, mental illness is a thing. It's not just Mauro that has it. A lot of people do suffer with it, whether they're public with it or not. It's a tough business. But again, it's a tough business. You're going to get criticized a lot from colleagues, from fans, and you have to learn to deal with it. Wrestling is, I would say, probably the toughest out of all the entertainment that I've been in.
Okay.
There's a lot of politics involved.
Learning that the hard way.
The fans are more vocal than I've seen in any type of realm. And, you have to have thicker skin than normal. I get it. He's got a mental illness. He does. But like, again, I have to stress, plenty of other people in this industry do. And if you're attacked, and I don't think Corey Graves was malicious about this. I don't think it was bullying. I saw it as a critique.
That's what compare it to the JBL during SmackDown. Apparently he was being bullied.
Completely different.
This is 1.5 tweet.
Right. And Corey went on to say on his podcast that, that he did apologize and he was trying to work up an angle for Survivor Series. Mauro, there's no way in hell he could do an angle like that because he can't handle it. One or two tweets and he goes off Twitter, doesn't show up for work for 2 days. Like,
well, he's still MIA for next week.
Right.
No one even knows.
Like, I don't know. I mean,
but apparently Dave Meltzer is pointing out he's in rough shape. Everyone knows the situations, but it's a pretty bad the last couple of days. It's a day-by-day thing. There's no way of knowing what's going to happen next. It's a very unfortunate situation. It's probably worse than what we've said, end quote.
It's something else. I feel like something else had to happen, though.
I don't know. I don't want to. I know of a couple people who have bipolar, and it's It's a very sensitive line you got to walk, but
it is a sensitive line. But again, I have to stress, he's not the only one in the entertainment world that's dealing with something like this.
I understand not showing up to Survivor Series, but not show up on Wednesday to fall out.
Yeah, you know, maybe Mauro, I could understand it as well. Maybe he didn't want to, be around Corey at that point.
Yeah.
Maybe he felt uncomfortable. Maybe things were said that were not public. I don't know. We don't know. I feel like we don't have the whole story here.
No, we had Corey Graves' apology, which you went over just now, so we don't have to go over that again. But yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I mean, I don't suffer from that. Well, I don't suffer from bipolarism anyway. And so I don't know how long it takes to come back from this. But I'm hoping he comes back sooner rather than later because I like Mauro.
I mean, yeah, I have nothing bad to say really about Mauro. I mean, I would just say,
you've been watching NXT here and there, right?
Yeah.
The way he was on War Games, is that how he usually was on NXT? Overpowering Beth and
I feel it's
the other guy.
It's far
What's
too
his
often.
name?
It is because
I don't. What's his name?
Nigel
Thank you.
McGuinness. You see, that's the problem. That's the problem right there. You only know Mauro, right there.
And Beth. Come on.
But yeah, because my wife hasn't watched any of the takeovers, so yeah, it was definitely on regular NXT programming as well that he's like that.
Okay. Well, anyway, best of luck to him. Speedy recovery, and good job for Tom Phillips filling in.
Yeah, good job for him. I was wondering where he was.
Yeah. Isn't he doing UK now? NXT UK?
Oh, is he? I don't actually pay
think
attention
so.
to that.
But anyway, moving on. Another news story you talked about before the show started. The Maryland State Athletic Commission is reportedly formally investigating the Kenny Omega Jon Moxley match that took place at Full Gear. Former WCW announcer Chris Cruz, who I've never heard of,
Right? I never heard of this guy either.
recently contacted the commission regarding the Omega versus Moxley match and asked about their rules on blading and allowing matches to continue if a performer is bleeding either intentionally or unintentionally, and if there's a commission doctor at the show. With a repeated request, he was told the commission prohibits wrestlers from deliberately lacerating themselves or their opponents or introducing human or animal blood. Ugh, gross.
Yeah, I didn't even know that part was a thing about the animal blood.
Never even heard that before.
Yeah.
The commission also said they were at Full Gear and had a doctor assigned to the show. They also said they are conducting a formal investigation into the match. Because of that investigation, they were unable to comment on questions about the match. Now, you looked into this further. Apparently, there's a whole list of things they're not allowed to do in Maryland.
Yeah, which is insane how they even allow wrestling to be there.
Yeah.
You can't go off the top rope.
Which just proves those are, like America, they had those Jim Crow laws.
Yeah.
Which are way outdated, rules that are not even followed to this day.
Right.
I'm assuming these rules are not followed
No,
to
at
the
all.
letter.
You can't hit the turnbuckle post. Like,
Okay.
all these
So what rules do they enforce then?
about punching, kicking. Like, what are we talking about here? Then don't allow wrestling in your state. Plain and simple. There are 49 other ones.
But obviously they do.
Obviously they
It
do.
never has been an issue before.
Right. So who is this tool who's obviously an AEW, like, I guess, non-supporter like you, Putty?
Don't lump me with this guy. I'm not there's a difference between not a fan and not a supporter.
Like, this dude is obviously anti-AEW, trying to get them in trouble.
Yeah, that's just wholly weird. When I read the story broke today, I'm like, what?
He's also saying that AEW is not going to last.
He said he'd be around for a while, but it won't last
Yeah.
that long.
Right.
What other people have said. So, okay, this guy just has a stick up his ass, apparently.
I think AEW is going to do fine.
Do you think he auditioned and was rejected?
Maybe.
That's the first thing I thought of. That's the guy
Disgruntled,
disgruntled, yeah.
naive employee. Disgruntled wannabe.
I'm assuming nothing's going to come of this, so let's move on. Stop giving this guy enough time.
Right.
In other news, Bray Wyatt is now the #1 merchandise seller for the company. Surprised?
No. Not surprised. And they're probably going to be even more so now with his new championship belt.
Yeah, let's hold off on that for a second.
Okay.
WWE Shop is currently offering more than 20 items for Wyatt in the Firefly Funhouse. 20 items? Okay.
Well, wait,
Unrelated-
are they selling the puppets too?
They were probably are. I mean, I'm assuming they all about the money, so I'm assuming they are.
Right.
On a related note, the WWE Shop has now started selling the Wyatt head lanterns.
Are they really?
Price is right here. Bray Wyatt head lantern. What's your bid?
$39.99.
$100.
Are you serious? With or without shipping?
Without shipping.
What the fuck?
And believe it or not, I unfortunately can believe it. They sold out immediately.
Wow. Is it a limited edition type
No,
of deal?
because they've been restocked.
What?
And they're also being sold at live events.
That's surprising because they got a lot of shit about that.
What?
About the head lantern. Like, oh, is this going to be a thing? Blah, blah, blah. It's PG, yada, yada.
That makes no sense.
Fuck them.
But $100 for a lantern, that's smoke better emit from it, okay?
I can't believe it. Did I see, I saw on SmackDown, right? They were talking about the Black Friday sale. Did I see a WWE crock pot?
Yeah, of course. I saw that. It came out a couple weeks ago.
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's a crock pot, a black, shiny crock pot with just the logo on it. That's it.
I can't.
Oh, I can. I've seen a bunch of ridiculous stuff on there.
Would you get a WWE crock pot?
No. If I was going to get a crock pot, I would probably buy that because it's probably cheap. But
No, is it cheap?
Gotta be cheaper.
The lantern's selling for fucking $100. You
Yeah,
think a
touche.
crock pot's going to be cheaper?
Call it red-handed, touche. But a lantern, 100, and people bought this up. And now you just mentioned that they're selling this custom, what you can call a title belt, has no semblance. Semblance, is that even a word? No resemblance of a title belt at all.
I think, you know what? I might,
And we're never going to see this. I don't see Bray the Fiend walking out to the ring rocking this.
Okay, I might be on the minority here on this. I actually like it.
Yeah, you're the minority. I think, though, I'm the minority here who doesn't like it because it's not even a good-looking belt. It doesn't even look like a belt.
But it fits his character. It fits the Fiend's character.
Stone Cold Steve Austin got a custom belt. His face wasn't on it.
monotone now anymore. Jesus. Okay, here we go.
Talk about the fucking Fiend. Yeah, his face wasn't on it. The Fiend's face is on the main plate of this
It's unique.
air quote belt.
It's unique. I actually. Well, I mean, what did you think of Daniel Bryan's belt? That was very unique. That was different.
Very unique, but it looked like a belt. It looked like a title belt.
It did look like a title belt.
This looks like something a kindergartner threw together in shop class.
I don't know. I think it could work. I think it
Well,
works.
these assholes are buying $100 lanterns. This is going to fucking sell out, no problem.
Of course, this is going to be a limited edition. I don't know, man. I dig it. I'm all about the character. If it fits the character, great. I had a little bit of a problem when he was walking out with the championship on Survivor Series. I actually liked how he was. It was unique when it was wrapped around his neck. That's how I like that. But it just the blue and everything didn't really fit his character. This does.
It's his face. I would give me a main plate that's creepy, kooky, mysterious, and kooky. It's all together, spooky. You know, something like that. Not his face.
What the fuck did you just do?
The Addams Family?
Yeah, I know, but why?
Because he's mysterious and spooky.
No. But I didn't need you to do it again.
So give me a main plate that reflects him, not just his mask.
I don't know. We'll see.
No, we won't see. We did see his. It's just a fucking
see,
mask.
We'll see. I want to see it and him walk down the entranceway with that thing, with his music and the lighting effect. I want to.
So it's gonna be his face and then his face on his stomach.
I want to see more.
I do not.
Man, I cannot wait for the Fiend to go after you because he went after you on Twitter.
Spoiler alert: the most boring match of the Survivor Series is the Fiend versus Bray Wyatt.
You really hate Bray Wyatt.
Another news?
This is unreal.
Lana signed a new 5-year contract, whilst Rusev is still in negotiations. Now, what do you think the future is for Rusev?
He signs WWE,
But he's not happy there.
but okay, let's be real. He's really with Lana in real life.
Yes, so was John Moxley with Renee Young. Boom, got him, folks. So is Britt Baker with Adam Cole, baby.
True. I mean, you do have me there.
But I don't see him leaving, but do you see him leaving? Oh, my God. Who was it a couple weeks ago that said Rusev is kind of now in the worst possible position ever? He's in this horrible storyline. If he doesn't resign, they're going to embarrass him. If he does resign, he's stuck in this shitty storyline.
I don't necessarily view it as a shitty storyline, though. I
Now you're the minority. Okay.
Again, I haven't seen every Raw as of late. I've seen the highlights and everything. I know.
But this is one of the most. This is one of the people. If I'm fast forwarding Raw, this is the moments I do stop and watch. So that is saying something about the storyline.
It is saying something. You're interested
to see how either bad it is or what happens. But either way, I'm stopping to watch this.
Now, why is it so bad for you? Because Rusev and Lana are still together.
I'm not saying
in
it's
real
bad.
life?
I mean, it's cheesy, it's hokey, it's not believable.
How is it not believable, though?
Because it's not real. But I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, I know people are shitting on the storyline. I'm just taking it as like, okay.
Like, do you believe that real life relationships, should not play out in WWE storyline?
I don't care. It depends in the storyline.
Like, eventually, it's gonna. If you're gonna push the envelope a bit, eventually it's gonna get to this point. This happened in the Attitude Era.
Yeah,
I'm sure like this happened all the time.
I don't criticize things I'm watching like other people do. Like I'm not an armchair quarterback. So
I don't know about that. I feel like a lot of people are.
Yeah, I'm not.
And I think if we play back the segment when you're talking about Bray Wyatt before, a little bit.
Yeah, it's a different story.
A little bit. I mean, it's not a different story. It's the same thing.
No, I'm not criticizing a storyline. I'm just saying that match is boring. But the storyline overall, I'm not going to shit on the storyline. I'm going to see where it plays out. It's not the greatest storyline. It's very hokey. I mean, it was stolen away from Mike Kanellis and Maria. So, okay. I mean, I'm not going to, like, shit on it. Like I said, I'm going to stop, see what happens, and then fast forward the Ricochet match.
What makes Ricochet so interesting instead of the storyline? Ricochet, they don't have anything really for Ricochet.
That's why I usually fast forward his matches.
You fast forward his match. Oh, I thought you were going to fast forward to his match.
No.
Never mind.
Also, Jerry Lawler signed a new 3-year deal. He made the announcement at GalaxyCon. Don't know what that is, but it sounds awesome. So there you go.
Interesting that Jerry Lawler signed a contract. Like, I know it's like one of those all-inclusive contracts, like the mix with the legends and the talent and yada yada. But I guess they need him to develop Dio Madden and Vic Joseph a bit. I think Vic Joseph is doing a good job. Dio Madden yet to be determined because he's been off the air.
I thought he was doing pretty good, but now they took him off.
Yeah.
How long does it take to recover from an F5?
I don't know. Ask Dio Madden.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because Jerry Lawler, I mean,
Again, if you know me personally, you know the friend of the show, you know I'm a big fan of David Otunga. I don't see why David Otunga couldn't be in this role. David Otunga is very great on commentary. Give him a shot. Hashtag David Otunga.
I want to see David Otunga is great on commentary.
But he's getting better and better each and every week as SmackDown originally went on. And I was looking forward to him. But
clearly it wasn't working for whatever reason.
That's where I'm in the minority, I guess. He's doing great in these pregame shows, whatever.
I think he does shine in that type of role. But Jerry Lawler, he's definitely he's out of touch with his lines. So you hear that they did tell him to tone it back a bit. So which is I'm surprised why they gave him the contract. I guess maybe because he's doing such a good job as far as developing these guys. I think maybe that's where it
talked about it. I think a couple months ago, Jim Ross was kind of trying to lure him over to AEW.
Oh,
that might be another reason.
Yeah,
lock him in.
There you go.
But either way, whatever. Finally, in other news, some guy who I would not be surprised does not resign. Apparently, Vince McMahon currently feels Humberto Carrillo. He's over. He's done. He doesn't care about him anymore.
Right.
Saying, I quote, Vince is done with Humberto for the time being. He's giving him the Cedric Alexander treatment. Like you see him on TV, he might win here and there, but he ain't going nowhere. Vince thought he wasn't getting over, so he's done. That sucks.
Vince, anytime you see someone that's maybe being like the next Latino star, doesn't really give him enough time.
Yeah, but he wants the next Latino star.
He does. He says that all the time, but how short of a leash do these guys get?
Alberto Del Rio.
Short leash.
Rio. He got a long leash. He got the fucking cars, the personal ring announcer, the championship.
But I feel like it was very short-lived. I mean, the period of time that he got. But then again, Alberto Del Rio apparently had some attitude problems as well, so that didn't really help him. But who else did they
also, I realize I always hear they're looking for the next Rey Mysterio.
Right.
But then I also hear guys like Adam Cole, Bebe, Dolph Ziggler. Everyone's looking for the next Shawn Michaels.
Right.
There's never going to be another Shawn Michaels.
No, there's never going to be another Rey Mysterio. Yeah.
So just find somebody who's going to bring in that.
What about Andrade? He's amazing.
Yeah.
And Zelina Vega together with him. I mean, I think that's money right there.
I don't know why they're not banking on him. Yeah, as to be the next Rey Mysterio.
That guy, he like think about him as an Intercontinental Champion, as a U.S. champion. And eventually, can you see him being World Heavyweight Champion? Eventually,
I see him in the picture. Yeah,
I see him at least in the picture. I mean, he's definitely got the in-ring ability. Like, he's got the charisma. Zelina Vega puts him over the top. Like I don't see why they don't push him more.
I don't know. We'll find out in the next coming weeks.
Like, I didn't really see anything Humberto, honestly.
Oh, neither did I. But I didn't know anything about him.
Right. I think that's the problem, though. I knew nothing about him.
It's like those NBC execs back in the late 80s, early 90s who wanted to cancel Seinfeld. There was one guy who stood up for him and gave Seinfeld a chance, and Seinfeld was the next biggest thing.
Right.
So, and that's what I kind of feel about TV nowadays. They're so quick to cancel shows.
No, they are.
Are they too quick to cancel on these guys? Like, give this guy a chance.
But they never gave him the proper shot to be the guy. You know, they gave him maybe a couple good matches, but they never gave him a real story. We never really knew who he was. They never really introduced that to us. They never gave him really a character to work with. It's just some Latino superstar who could do some stuff in the ring. That was it. Like, no one's going to care about that.
No, nobody.
They may be impressed by one or two matches, but at the end, they're like, all right, why should we care? Why do we need to care? Like, wrestling is just so much more than what you can do in the ring. I want to be emotionally invested in these characters and these storylines.
Random reference. My mother and father are big fans of the show Big Brother.
Okay.
And people are locked in this house for the whole summer and blah, blah, blah. But you get to know these people on a different personal level. Their background, where they came from, and learn about them personally. And my parents love getting to know these quote-unquote characters of the show. But they can't get into Amazing Race.
Okay.
Because Amazing Race, you don't know about these characters. They're just people on a treasure hunt.
Right.
There's no emotional connection.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Right. That's the biggest thing in marketing is just like that ethos.
Okay.
You know, just to play on the emotional strings of the audience.
Which is missing what they're saying in Amazing Race. It's kind of equating to here, like there's no background story. There's no connection to Humberto Carrillo.
Right.
Going back to those promos of Razor Ramon. How many promos we had of him before he debuted?
So many vignettes.
How many vignettes of Jeff Jarrett? We got to establish connection these guys debuted.
Right.
So maybe that's what they're missing here. Establishing some sort of connection before they debut.
Something.
Just because you just throw Humberto Carrillo's being dressed as the Raw, and now here he is on Raw. I don't know this guy.
Right.
Why should I care about it?
It's almost like they're making it sound like, oh, you don't know. That's stupid that you don't know who he is. I mean, he's clearly on the roster. You didn't know that? You know he's on the roster?
So going back to that, like there's no connection here. So maybe that's why this experiment failed.
Right.
Give him vignettes. Give him a push. Let me know who this guy is. So
and I'm not even just saying about him. I'm just saying in general.
No, so am I. Yeah.
That's why I think there's so many failed experiences because they just throw them in our face. Like, all right, get in the ring, go.
Which is why characters work so well in the '90s and Alex Jarrett because you got those lead-ins to them.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either. I don't know when we got away from that. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
You're getting these indie dudes that come in. They already have established a brand and a name for themselves, and they come in. Obviously, they come in hot. But you know what happens to like the everyday WWE fan that doesn't follow the indies? They don't know who these guys are. You have to give them something. Give them something for them to care.
Like Humberto comes out with a cape. Is he a Mexican superstar? Is he a royalty? Does he have it? Like they did that great job with like I just mentioned, Del Rio.
Right. Many
Many vignettes leading up to him. Fancy houses, fancy cars. When he debuted, I'm like, oh, I know who this guy is. They should have known this guy then.
Del Rio, like, a lot of people thought he was boring. Me personally as well.
Okay. Mike or in general?
Just general. He was a Spanish GBL.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
I mean, that's pretty much what he was.
I've never made that connection before. Okay.
Now you're not going to unsee it. But
a lucha libre dios.
He had something to him, though.
Yeah, he had a certain je ne sais quoi. Yeah.
He did. You know, unfortunately, again, I have to stress that his attitude rubbed people the wrong way, and that was that.
We can go on and on about this, I feel. I think we're just going to talk in circles eventually, but moving on. Green Man's back with interviews.
Yes.
With someone we know as Tristen Thai, local indie standout.
Know him very well.
Many of you know him as Ikuro Kwon from MLW. You know him pretty well.
I know him pretty well, yeah. We've crossed paths before with Dom and Chris.
Well, he recently got injured. Pretty serious injury. Green Man sits down with him to get not only updates on his career, but his injury. So here's Green Man talking to Tristen Thai, Ikuro Kwon.
Family, welcome to another exciting edition of A Shot of Wrestling, the interviews. If you have not done so already, follow us on all forms of social media at A Shot of Wrestling on Facebook and Instagram, and Shot of Wrestling No A on Twitter. You can also contact us via email at inbox@ashotofwrestling.com or dial it up 619-343-3005 and leave your comments on A Shot of Wrestling hotline. Now we say it time and time again that wrestling brings us together, and today is no different. Today, we cut that check and are joined by one of the fastest rising fighters in our area. He is above the rest from MLW's Contra unit, Ikuro Kwon, also known as Tristen Thai. Brother, welcome to A Shot of Wrestling.
What's good, man? What's good, man? Thank you for having me.
It is.
It took a long time.
It did. You know what's interesting about that you're mentioning that there's been a lot of your boys, a lot of your brothers that we have had on the show, and I guarantee you every time we ended an episode with them, they were always like, yo, so much fun, we had a good time, but you know who you need to get on? You need to get in Tristen. He's got a story to tell. And I was like, all right. Well, today we're going to tell that story because I want to learn all about you, brother. I want to learn all about you, but I have to get started with a little bit of sad news because unfortunately, you're out with injury, and I think a lot of people who will be tuning in want to get an update on where you are, on what's going on. So fill us in on this injury that recently happened with you.
Well, it's been an emotional week, a couple of weeks. First off, R.I.P. Matt Travis, my brother. That was a big hit to the community, to myself, to his family, to his friends. You know what I mean? Like it was a hard hit for wrestling and New York as a whole, but having that in mind gave everybody a whole different kind of drive because of how easy things can end. It's always in the back of your mind. You always know that. But when it hits you specifically, it kind of switches your gears. It either makes you regress or makes you progress. You know what I'm saying? So me and Gabe had this match at Full Faith Wrestling, our debut as a fatal four-way tag. And we had the MDK in our tape. Like, this is our first match to remember him and put his line of work and his dedication into fruition for all the people there. It was our dedication match to him. And we were just it was very early in the match. We were hitting our dives, things that we do. I go for my dive, and as I plant my feet to go over, to flip over the top, I thought someone punched my kneecap, and I was like, yo, what? That hurt. And then, but I couldn't. It was all right though. I shook it off, but this is all happening in midair, and all of a sudden I feel the top rope on my stomach, which I never feel because I clear the top rope. I land on my feet from the flip. Like, it makes people think that I can high fly. No, I can't. But I do it, and then I just land like grossly. My ass hits the apron. I'm just like stand. I'm like, that was terrible. And then I hear a fan go, "What the hell was that?" And I was like, I knew it was ugly, so I'm gonna get in his face though, and I just fall. I just limp away. I'm like, what happened? I couldn't stand up. I tried to stand up again. Messed up. It was me and Gabe's hot tag. I'm trying to get in so we can do our double. Fall right off the apron. I'm just like, what happened? They pulled me to the back. My knee's the size of a basketball. They rushed me to the hospital. They take x-rays. It's too swollen. Then yesterday I got MRIs. Turns out I ruptured my patella tendon, dislocated my kneecap, and I have strained ligaments all around the knee joint. So I'm getting surgery on Tuesday. So I'm out for the year, which sucks. I had some big things coming up this year, but health is the most important thing. And I'm glad that it happened on my account, not doing a move to someone else where someone else could get in trouble or someone else could get hurt. So I'm glad that if it was solo, it wasn't because of someone, it wasn't at the risk of someone else's health. So all things considered, it was the best case scenario in terms of getting hurt, I guess.
Now, was it after so many years of putting torture on that knee?
Yeah, the doctor said it was like a ticking time bomb situation. I have a lot of wear and tear from doing martial arts all my life, from playing sports, soccer, basketball, football, and just amateur wrestling. A lot of strain on the joint. And over the summer, I think just doing some, matches and just training, working out, that there's been knee pain, nothing crazy, but just a hurt. I didn't really pay attention to it. And the doctor was saying that this type of motion, this explosive movement, was almost like the last straw that the tendon needed to tear. So hopefully now, when I start rehabbing and all that, I'll be able to instruct the the therapists and all them what I'm looking to do and things to do to strengthen my bad knee and my good knee so it doesn't happen. So it's a learning experience that we all need, and hopefully whoever's listening to this can take some advice from that and just always just ice, take care of yourself. If there's a pain, get it checked out. It's better doing that than. Luckily, I'm young enough. I'm still on my parents' insurance. You know what I'm saying? So it works out that way. But for you if you don't, you gotta take care of yourself first and foremost, because as much as you don't want your spot taken, your spot's gonna be vacated a lot longer if you let yourself get really hurt.
You are very young in your career, and that's something that, we mentioned, you're one of the fastest rising stars in our area. And it's true, because you've only been in the business about 2 years now. And to get the opportunity to work with a company like MLW, that's huge. Could you walk us through on how that started happening? Who was the main players in it? Did you just get a call one day? It's like, hey, Tristen, we're interested in you. This is what we want you to do.
Well, the main player, first and foremost, is my trainer, Kono. He's one of my best friends now. I owe everything to him. At this point, we're really close friends, but he's always on that upper echelon of people who I admired because of the time he took and dedicated to teach me this craft and to continue to show me things, continue to critique and continue to let me know the truth about the business. And giving me the confidence to wrestle. I had my first match against him, and it was awesome. And I learned a lot from him that day. And then just having the guts and being surrounded by people who push you to go certain places. Denaro, Barton, and Gabe, they pushed me to go to Dojo Wars because I didn't think I was ready. From there, they took a really quick liking to me and Gabe right away. Wanted to use us, explore, and to teach us their way of thinking. From there, Gabe again convinced me to go to this Beyond tryout. So we did the Beyond Wrestling tryout. Gabe ended up winning that tryout, but I was one of the 4 favorites that they liked from that tryout. They gave us a shot to wrestle at one of their shows in a dark match for uncharted territory. We ended up getting called, me and Gabe, which was amazing. Then Gabe got to do the Lethal Lottery against Matt Cross. I was there for that. That was awesome to see that. And then we got called again to be on their Beyond Secret show in Boston, which was an incredible honor again. Because they could have picked anybody. So we're on these main shows with these guys that are just showing us so much, just not directly to us, but what we're watching, how they're interacting. And then CZW moves me and Gabe up to the main roster, and through the footage from Beyond, CZW, MLW found that footage, and they called me up and offered me a contract. They saw something, I guess, in me that was marketable enough to take a chance on a young unknown kid. Now the ball's in my court, and I'm just trying to play as many minutes as I can, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the companies you're naming are insane. They're pretty much on the East Coast, like the companies you want to be part of: Beyond Wrestling, CZW, MLW. And it all started with humble beginnings at FTW. And I think it has to be said, you and your group of Above the Rest are, the motto has been shared, ironing, sharpening iron. That's exactly what you guys are doing. You guys are always challenging each other to be better.
It's like, we want everybody to succeed. We're all going through the same stuff. And it's our job to stand out to where people feel that they can invest money in our product and our work. So any advice that I get, I try to pass along, and it's not, I tell them right off the bat, it's not me telling you this. This is things that I'm learning that I want you guys to learn, because as opposed to being at the stage that I'm on in 10 years, and once I get there, I got to unlearn 10 years of stuff to learn it their way. I'm coming in fresh off the bat. I'm only learning what they want. I'm only learning the right way in terms of how they think a wrestling production should be done, and a wrestling match should be handled and executed. So if I'm only learning that, and I can help my friends, I don't want to use the word cut corners because we don't do that, but to get the proper insight to where they don't have to make dumb mistakes, where they can already learn without making those mistakes. That's what I want. So whatever they do with that, that's on them, and they know that. Same thing with me. I need to consistently, whether that's my own pride or whether that's, my own sense of self-responsibility, but I know that I have to set the bar for myself all the time. So.
Any advice that you would give to an up-and-coming talent in the area? Because you've done what many people have been working 10 years to accomplish, and you've done it in a short amount of time.
Yeah. Well, part of it is I would say, like, if the truth hurts, change it. That's my big advice on everything. It's like, oh, I don't like my body. Well, change it. I don't like, oh, I'm not fast enough. Change it. I don't like the way I look here. Well, then change it. If you really want something, you'll get it. But a lot of people will say it and they won't do the work that it takes to be put in because it's too hard. And once you already accept that something is too hard on the way to the journey, you're never going to get to the finish line. There's no way. So surround yourself with people who care. If you want to be on TV, you want to wrestle the top guys, you want to be a household name, whatever the case is, if that's your goal, then you've got to surround yourself with those people who are either doing it or on their way to doing it, and that's how you come up. I know that I'm very gifted in the case of that I was at the right place at the right time and I was the right guy. I have a different look than most people on the scene right now in terms of our area. I have a different style. I have a different attitude. I have a different mindset. That's what's marketable. It has nothing to do with my experience or my skill set, technically. You know what I'm saying? I'm still learning so much stuff in terms of psychology, in terms of execution, in terms of movement. But there's something that I'm doing that they believe that they are okay to sign off on. And what I believe that is not just the work ethic. It's the realization that if I believe I'm supposed to be here, then I'm going to be there. And I want my boys to feel that way first, because I know how good they are, and I know that they can. If once they have that, they just have that click, and that light bulb goes off, where they're like, when they realize that they can do more, and then they go ahead and do more. That's how it goes. Because if you don't put in the work, somebody else is right behind you. You know what I mean? Most people, they don't talk about it, they just do it, and that's a very, very valuable lesson that I learned. Don't say it, do it.
Yeah, put those words into action. What do you want to do? What is in your future plans?
Everyone's goal, man. I mean, my goal is to be in WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like, that's the goal.
How early did that become the goal?
I mean, the first thing I saw, man, I was at a house party at my house, like a family party. It was whack, so I went to my back room, closed the door. I was like trying to turn on the TV. I couldn't find the remote, so I had to press the button. And it was wrestling. Wrestling was on when it was SmackDown was on UPN 9. That's when it was. John Cena came out and started rapping to Rhino or the FBI or something like that. But I just saw this dude, man, cool, had sick jersey, like he was just rapping, like he was jacked, like just talking shit, like it was funny, but it was cool, like, and then he beat him up. I was like, what is this? And then ever since then, I was hooked because I always thought it was in that TV room. So I kept going on that TV room every night until I figured it out that it was wrestling. And then I go to Blockbuster, get some tapes over there. I remember, like, I only knew 2003 SmackDown. That's the only thing I knew. I didn't know Raw existed. I didn't know anything else existed. So when I asked my mom to give me a wrestling tape, she brought back the 1997 Royal Rumble. I said, what the hell is this? I didn't know who anybody was. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what was good. But it was just awesome in, like, the weirdest way. Like, I really didn't know much, but I knew that's what I wanted to do for some reason. And I was just like, this is what I'm doing. And that was it forever. So I guess since like maybe like 8 years old. I guess.
That's fucking awesome. That's awesome. When did you discover the independent scene?
When I got in it.
Yeah.
No, for real though. Like, honestly, the only thing I knew outside of WWE was I knew who Sting was, and I saw Nick Mondo get thrown off a roof in CZW. That's the only clips I saw. And Loki versus Red. Those were the only things I knew of. And I knew backyard wrestling existed, but I didn't really know about the independents, like, at all.
And now you're working with companies like CZW, and they've created a name around that hardcore wrestling. But, is that something you want to do in the future, more hardcore stuff?
I like to put it in terms of, like, does the risk match the reward? You know what I'm saying? I'm about money. You know what I mean? People can say whatever they want. But if the risk matches the reward, I'll do it the payoff. You know what I'm saying? If it was a big payoff for a match, yeah, I'd do a crazy hardcore match if it made sense to what we're doing. If it helped build a story arc, if it made sense to the fans, if it made the fans, if it was genuinely, like, organic in how it came about, I would do it. Other than that, no. Like, why would I want that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just, I want to put on a show, but I also want to have it make sense for whatever I'm doing. I think there's a time and place for everything. I don't look down on people that do it. In fact, I respect them for the hell out of them. This year was my first time going to Tournament of Death, and just seeing deathmatch hardcore wrestling live.
Mm-hmm.
And that was crazy to watch, bro. Especially going in the back later after the adrenaline wears off, talking to some of these guys. There's definitely a different type of passion that I didn't grow up having. So I think that's where the disconnect is with hardcore wrestling and deathmatch wrestling for me.
And what a better platform to go from CZW then to MLW. So you mentioned that, getting signed, they recognized something in you. I was there for your debut, man. It was an insane moment for me inside because it kind of felt like it's one of our guys, there. I wasn't expecting it. And then when you came out and it was someone completely different, I was like, wow, what is he going to do? He threw the green mist. It was like you had a whole new different gear on, different attitude, and I'm like, this is interesting. So how did the character get approached to you?
So the idea they had initially was to bring me in, and they weren't really sure exactly what they wanted. There was a lot of different ideas. They saw me from Beyond, and shout out Drew Cordero and the entire Beyond family because they have a special place for me. But they saw me doing, I guess, my moveset. They saw my look. I'm pretty much the only Asian wrestler in the tri-state, I think. That aspect caught their eye. The fact that I speak English, I think that matters to a point because that's another element of a minority there. And I think they just liked the age too. I think they liked that I was young and are not really known, so they can kind of build me in that image type deal. Then they approached me with Contra Unit. I didn't really know what Contra Unit was. I didn't really know what MLW. I didn't really know the independents or the other professional circuits out there, really.
Yeah.
I had to kind of start from square one and look at the entire storyline of what it was, and then I was really into how they were building MLW, the whole company as a whole, and all these things. And they told me how they wanted me to be. They said I'm going to be like a pit fighter that they found, that they hired, an assassin, ninja, but also I'm still me. So it was very hard. It's still very hard to really encapsulate what their image of what they want in, and to make me comfortable with adding myself intertwined with all that to make it natural. I think that's the key point, is to make it natural, because fans can see through right away if you're not feeling the gimmick or you're forging something that isn't there. So for me, the big challenge was to come into a storyline, be a part of a group, because I know what always happens when you add new members. The group falls apart and no one cares about their group anymore.
Yeah.
You see that with every group. So the fact that I wasn't in the original set of it made me a little nervous because I knew I had to do a little bit more. But the guys I have around me, Simon Gotch, who is more helpful than I could have ever imagined, a really, really good man, awesome. Sheik, Joseph Samael, another one, an OG who I really wanted to impress. I really wanted to prove my value to him because, again, he's from the old school, man. You had to earn your keep. Here's this kid coming in from New York 2 years in, and he's on television, and he better not act like he's supposed to be, type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had to really earn my keep with him. And then Fatu, who's we connect on a lot of levels. We connect on a street level. We connect on a heart to heart level. He's someone who, again, is also learning, but has so much good people around him, obviously, that he just has such a cool mind for it. And watching him switch gears from us chilling and drinking in the back, after a show, and then just realizing that 6 hours before that he was in the main event tearing it up with LA Park. Like those types of people, I'm having low key. I owe a lot to him, breaking things down for me, taking an interest in me, putting me under his wisdom tree. I like to say, because he didn't have to. He could just let me fade out. If you know what I mean. There's a respect level there where I owe a lot to him, and he's been awesome. He's been awesome since day one. Court Bauer himself. He saw me. George Carroll. I can go on forever. All good people, and I think being around these locker rooms where everybody cares, where everybody wants to be at the top, that's the environment you need. You don't want to be the hardest worker in the room. You go to some indie shows and there's people picking their nose. There's people outside smoking cigarettes. There's people who are coming in late with McDonald's. There's just a lot of things where it's just not the vibe that you care that you want. It's not the professionalism you want. You go to a show, you see there's people who they want to make sure that no one has the same finish, that no one has the same moves in their shine, that make sure no one has they're very articulate about making the entire performance amazing, the entire show different. All of those reasons, for example, to be at MLW is a gift because I'm I'm learning so much all at once. So it's just got to be, be as much of a sponge as you can to absorb all that knowledge and then pass it down to the people that matter. You know what I mean?
You mentioned a lot of people who you're under that learning tree. What is the one piece of advice that you have gotten in the last few years that has stuck with you still to this day?
Oh man, there's no such thing as a stupid question. I know it's kind of cliche because right, like when you care about something, you won't ask a dumb question. There's a lot of people who ask questions because this is somebody important. I'm just going to ask him a question so he thinks that I care. Like, no, and people see right through that. There's questions to ask because you're genuinely curious about the product and the overall outcome and the overall performance. And then there's questions to ask because you don't know what to say. And also that actions speak louder than words. Yes, they brought me in. Yes, they invested in me. Yes, they signed me to a deal. Blah blah blah. But if I don't perform, if I don't execute, that all that means nothing. I have to keep, earn your keep. You're only as good as your last match. You're only as good as your last performance in anything. So you want to make sure that you can deliver and be reliable, and making sure that to be a team player and take care of yourself too.
So it sounds like it's a group of people working together to achieve a goal. And a lot of times you think about professional wrestling and you think about me, it's the individuals who try to get themselves over, but it sounds like MLW is more like a family, a group.
Yeah. The Beyond people are kind of like that too.
I've heard that, yeah.
CCW is like that too. I've been blessed. And then FTW, I've met some of the best friends I've ever had, so again, I haven't been all over yet, but the places that I've been to, I think I've been very blessed to be at those places at these times because they really help mold how I envision wrestling and how I like to carry out myself throughout it with fellow workers and fans.
You mentioned you were influenced through martial arts. Is there anything else, any other kind of sport that has influenced you throughout the years?
Not really. I honestly, like, martial arts is a big deal, and also just for just from the streets too, just growing up and fighting for fighting for what you want, type of thing.
Where did you grow up?
That's just, I grew up in Baldwin, New York. It's out in Long Island, and I had a good home. It was just my personal choices that I made. Things that I fell into, things that I've done, and just things that I used to regret, and now I realize that they're just lessons. They kind of molded me who I am, my attitude towards life, and how I treat people, and I guess how I might come off to other people too.
Hindsight, definitely. Man. I think you look back at your adolescent years, growing into yourself, and becoming the man that you are. You made the bad experience at the time and say, yeah, well, at least I learned something from it. What are some of those bad experiences that in the moment you were like, wow, this is trouble. This is probably the worst thing I could have done?
Well, getting into fights, going to jail.
You've been to jail?
Yeah.
For what?
A few things, fighting, affiliations with things that I shouldn't have been with. Just being dumb, man, honestly, and not having my eye on the prize. The problem was I did really well in school, and I was able to get away with a lot more than I should have, whether that was with the courts or that was with schools, because I would have straight A's because my attitude towards school was, let me not get straight A's. It was, let me show these teachers that I know more than them, type of thing. That was my attitude towards it. So if I would come here and I would have, an A on a test, and I know I didn't study, that meant that I was right. It had nothing to do with, I wasn't thinking, that's going to be good because you're going to have to get into good schools. It wasn't that. It was just, I know more than this teacher. And that's just how I felt.
You are a very smart guy. You're actually pursuing a master's in social work. Is the reason that you're still pursuing an education is like a backup plan to wrestling?
Well, it's a little bit of all that. I signed up for my master's program over the summer, and about 2 weeks later, I got signed by MLW. That was something where it was okay. Maybe if things don't really pop off, I got to be able to support myself. With my girl now too. Like, I want to be able to support myself, and I needed a purpose to do other things. I always wanted to either help people and wrestle. That's all I wanted to do. Social work, specific area that I want to be with is troubled youth and teens, because that was me. I was able to find the light, see it, pursue it, and achieve it. And I want to be able to speak on kids firsthand and let them know that it's possible, and try to help them. And you got to get a degree to do it. So it was something that I was interested in, something that I wanted to do. And wrestling, doing both at the same time is not easy. Especially finals week is coming up. I got this surgery coming up. I had a couple of dates lined up. We were ending off the year for CWK's death, late December, had MLW early December, and little things in between, and then again, and finals. So it was a lot, but it's all, again, like, everyone's plate's full in their own way. You know what I mean? Mine is I guess, to someone else hearing it, it's pretty ridiculous. And it is. Like, I see that, not really sleeping, doing an unpaid internship all day, and then right after that going to class, then going to the gym or going to train, and then doing homework after, waking up and doing it all over again, and then flying to a city, bringing the homework with you, studying for a test on the plane, turn it in a paper while I have a pay-per-view match that day. Fuck. And then I got to fly back to the next flight back home, go to the internship from the flight because I get home then, and then go to class right after that. It's not easy.
Bro, I would complain about my schedule. You just floored me with the amount of shit that you got to do. I'm literally, I can't complain anymore.
No, but it is though, man. It's good to be busy, man. Because if you're not busy, you do dumb things.
Right. You're part of this whole culture. We say it time and time again. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan because there's so many options. There's so many things to see. Does it feel weird sometimes that it's not just a good time to be a wrestling fan, but it's kind of a good time to be a wrestler, and you being part of the changes going on and being given these opportunities to really put wrestling on the map? How does that feel for you?
It's awesome, man. I mean, none of my friends, I have a select few, baby, and I can literally count on one hand a select few of friends that actually grew up watching wrestling, continued to watch wrestling, and are wrestling fans. No one else that I'm cool with is a wrestling fan. They like my stuff. They don't come to my shows. You know what I mean? Like, they don't watch me on TV. They don't look at me on YouTube. Like, they like my stuff on Instagram and all that stuff, but they don't watch wrestling. What's crazy is certain things that I've been showing them, it's been hooking them to where they actually follow some wrestling pages, not to see what's going on, but just things that just quick clips on your feed of just moves, because wrestling has been so crazy lately, and there's so much exposure, just like everything, politics, sports, there's world news, like wrestling too. Like, wrestling is worldwide, and you get to see it, and it's in small doses, like tolerable doses. You don't got to watch a 20-minute match if you're not into wrestling. You don't got to watch a promo with bad acting. You don't got to watch but you could watch a Canadian Destroyer all day. You know what I mean? You could watch a Shooting Star Press all day. You could watch Pac do whatever he does. You could watch these guys do all these things. You can watch the Lucha Bros. You can watch Fatu, 210 pounds, do a spaceman over the top rope like it's nothing. That's nothing but entertainment. So in a way, I feel that because that's kind of what it is now. It's kind of very fast. Oh, that was cool, type of thing. I think it appeals to more people, and I think it's getting so much more credibility worldwide, especially now that there's a lot of professional athletes that are crossing over. I think that it's just becoming more respected. I think it's always going to be like sports, redheaded stepchild, but at the same time, I think it's still getting more recognition for being a legit sport, because especially if everyone is a walking billboard for how real and how dedicated you can be in professional wrestling. If I walk around with a black eye, when I walk around on crutches because I popped my knee out, when you can't walk, you're limping a little bit, when you have a broken bone, whatever the case is, because people who see you are wrestling fans go, oh, wow, that's legit. Yeah, it's legit. Watch this. And everyone kind of defends the business for themselves. And I think that because there's so many people that are doing it now, I think the exposure is just consistently there. Everyone just knows what wrestling is again now.
It's really weird because we started this podcast about 3 years ago now. We look back at it, and I remember having this conversation with Michael J. Putty and saying, yo, we got this podcast at the right time. Wrestling couldn't be any hotter. A year goes by and we're like, yo, how great is wrestling right now? And now 3 years go by and I can't believe how every year there's more growth and there's more exposure to it and there's more opportunities for people and more people are doing more things. And I'm like, I don't see it slowing down, bro, at all.
No,
I do not
it doesn't.
see it slowing
you
down.
see, like, and even for like the really loyal fans and stuff like that, like, you know, this past week in Survivor Series, you watched Matt Riddle pin Randy Orton at Survivor. You know, we're seeing so many things there's so many dream matches that are coming up. You know, from a fan perspective, you know, at least like, you know, I'm seeing people that I was on shows with, things that I've built, you know, helped build a ring for them possibly. You know what I'm saying, or just been around. Not that I really build rings. Daenerys gonna laugh when he hears this. I don't build rings at all. I don't do it. In general, you know, just seeing people that we were around, regular bumping shows with on these main stages, like it's awesome to watch because it increases hope, and it brings a tear to your eye somewhat because it's like people that you care about and that you actually like on a personal level are making it to where they want to be. So.
But that's part of breaking into the business, right? Building rings.
That's what they say, man.
That's a big thing.
Know.
It's a big thing.
That's a big thing.
If people wanted to keep track of your progression on your recovery, where can we follow you on all your social media?
You can follow me on Twitter at Ikuro Kwon, on Instagram and Facebook at Tristen Thai. Other than that, don't follow me because I'm going to kick you in the face. Probably if you follow me too close. Follow me on social media. I mean, I'm not weird though. You can DM me and ask. You can just ask me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not weird. I don't turn people away like that. You know. I was actually very surprised at how many people actually reached out. Because to me, it's not a big deal. It was just me letting people know that I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z shows because I'm hurt. I didn't expect the amount of people to reach out to ask how I was doing or if I needed. Shout out to all the people who reached out for that. So that's awesome.
One of the things I respect about like your social media page is it's pretty real. Like I don't think they're like you see a lot of professional wrestlers' social media pages and it's like their gimmick. It's them promoting their next show, them promoting their matches. But you look at yours, it is who you are. It's a little bit of who you are in your personal life. It's a little bit of what you're doing. It's a little bit of your wrestling stuff. I don't see that clear line of, you know, hey, this is Tristen Thai, just my wrestling page. You know, is that something you did strategically or it's just you don't care?
I think it's both. I mean, there is the only real line between Tristen Thai and like me is the fact that like I usually keep my shirt on when I fight. It's really just a name change, man. Like that's me. I think I'm very lucky that I figured that out early on. I think that was the real like the connection point between the character and doing the moveset and making it feel real and natural because like everything that I do in the ring, you know, from Tristen Thai, that's just me. And I think that was very helpfully guided by people like Kono, who were just like, you know, just be you. I was like, oh, all right. You know what I mean? Or trying to think of a character, trying to think of this or that. Why don't you just be yourself?
Thank you so much, Tristen, for joining us on this episode. One last question I have to ask. If we were to get together in a year from now, what would you want people to be saying about Tristen Thai?
I should have bought his T-shirt with another $25.
And on that note, thank you so much for joining us on A Shot of Wrestling, but stick around because we still have last call.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. What's going on, everybody? Just wrapped up this interview with Shot of Wrestling. So stay tuned to after the episode because you're going to hear a little bit of last call.
It's time for this week's TV Takedown.
Wow. You know, I gotta say, I said before we've had our encounters with Tristen Thai. He's in good spirits.
Good spirits, always a class act.
Yeah, and I actually do wish him nothing but the best because you know what? He's only 2 years in.
Only 2 years. That's amazing.
I
right?
actually didn't know that until later on.
Neither did I.
And, I do wish him nothing but the best in MLW. He is a fantastic talent, fantastic performer. I've seen him in the ring.
Yeah, we had the pleasure of seeing him several times.
Yeah.
In various promotions here in the Tri-State area. And to see him now in MLW, fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I said, only 2 years in.
Yeah, I know. He's got a great, bright future ahead of him. So, Tristen Thai, it pains me to say it, but I wish you the best.
All right, let's talk about some TV. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Impact, AEW, whole bunch of TV this week. All the fallout from Survivor Series weekend. What is your takeaway this week?
My takeaway is actually Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
You know what? He seems so much more comfortable in this position being a heel. It was great to finally see. It seemed like he was like kind of just being himself. And I have actually heard about fans interacting with Seth Rollins, and it wasn't the best of experiences.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard about Randy Orton.
Oh, Randy Orton. Yeah, of course. But, let Seth be Seth.
That was a great turn.
It was a great turn. It was awesome.
Because it wasn't really a turn.
Right.
But it was a turn.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And the stuff he said was just awesome. How he just hit on every single person. And I dug it, dude. I dug it. A good job, Seth Rollins. And, watch now the fans get behind him again.
Dave Meltzer said they're equating it to the heel turn of Bret Hart in 1997.
Ooh, okay. I could see that.
Where he thinks what he's doing is right and the fans are being unfair.
But you know what? That's a great heel, though. No bad guy.
So he's going to wrestle as a babyface.
Yeah.
But still be a heel.
That's perfect.
I'm excited about that. Yeah.
No bad guy should ever view themselves as the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
They should believe in what they're doing.
Except Razor Ramon, because he's oozing machismo.
Of course. Well, fair enough. But, I think Seth is going to really thrive in this role. And I cannot wait to see this feud between
It's a different
him
direction. We've never seen, because if you think about it, there's no real top heel on Raw.
No Brock Lesnar.
Who? We're not going to see him until January, right? So
yeah. No, I guess there really isn't like a big
especially now that
heel.
I'm kind of getting, face vibes from Drew McIntyre?
No.
Okay, good. I don't want that.
I'm not seeing that
All
really.
of a sudden, I'm just getting that weird vibe from him lately.
How so?
The way the matches he's in, the people he's wrestling, and the way he came out, the whole United States Championship thing.
Can we talk about the United States Championship thing? Why did Randy Orton interfere in that match?
Because he's a face now, and he wants to screw AJ Styles.
But why? Since when is he a face? I feel like he's always every time I see him on TV, he's either face one week and he's a heel the next week.
No, it was slightly building with the whole stuff going on with Ricochet. I guess now he's officially a face now, which is boring. Again, Randy Orton as a face is boring, and I don't like Randy Orton as a face, but whatevs. I guess they need faces, which they don't. They need heels, but...
Yeah, Randy Orton's a great heel.
One of the best ever.
Yeah. I'd go ahead and say that on the record.
One of the best faces ever? No, not even close. Yeah.
No, I guess he doesn't like being a face.
No, and he's not good at it.
No.
But whatever. My thing on Raw was Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy's back.
Oh, yeah. Matt Hardy, everyone.
But as Team Extreme Matt Hardy, not broken or woken or stroken. I don't know what the fuck you want to
Broken?
I don't know.
That's a bad one.
Don't know what's going on. Apparently Vince does not like the broken, woken stuff.
Because it's not his.
Yeah. I'm hoping Matt Hardy... I see Matt Hardy on my TV. I knew he was getting fed to whoever he got fed to, but whatever.
Oh, yeah. It's good to see Matt Hardy back.
Watched a little bit of NXT. Didn't watch the whole thing, so I can't really talk about NXT too much, but props to them for winning the whole Survivor Series thing. SmackDown. All I heard about, the new face of the Firefly Funhouse. Okay. Rumors are it's going to be a woman. Okay. Rumors are it's going to be Liv Morgan. Okay. Liv Morgan's cool. I don't think he needs a woman. I don't think he needs another character. That makes no sense, but okay. Who am I to judge?
Well, it's because of that design that came out on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, okay.
It was supposed to be like a new for the new character for Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. Okay.
It may have been like a tease on purpose, actually.
Maybe, probably. Maybe a new puppet, but I don't see how Liv Morgan fits in here. But want to introduce a woman? Okay. He doesn't need...
That was just fan speculation because of the fact that Liv Morgan...
But he doesn't need...
nothing going on.
He doesn't need anybody else on his side right now.
No.
These guys they're working the ground he walks on.
What is your deal?
So I'm promising a new face of the Firefly Funhouse. What happens? He introduces his new belt. Apparently that's the new face of the Firefly Funhouse. Until the end of SmackDown, where he told Daniel Bryan he promised us a new face for the Firefly Funhouse. He comes up from the ring, sucks Daniel Bryan underneath the ring to the bowels of hell, as they say in the Attitude Era, and starts coming up with clumps of fistfuls of hair. So now, obviously, Daniel Bryan is the new face of the Firefly Funhouse. Mm-hmm. So now, for the first time, I can say, all right, I'm kind of interested now.
Wow, I did not see this coming.
Not because of Bray Wyatt, because now I'm curious, what is Daniel Bryan going to look like now?
I mean, he's going to look like probably
Lex Luthor?
when he retired.
No, he's got to be completely clean shaven. Bray Wyatt's got to pull all that hair out.
I don't know.
So now I'm curious. Now I'm invested. Like, what's going to happen here? Now I'm curious to see what happens next week, just because of Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan for the first time ever. You got me. Congratulations.
Well,
That was well done. The way he brought him in and starts throwing clumps of hair out of the bottom of
that's something we've never seen before.
Never. And the way that he said new face, now we're like, oh, that's the new face.
Right.
Now I'm curious to see what Daniel Bryan looks like now.
You got to say, man, Bray Wyatt is great with psychology.
Yeah, that's something he's always been with, yeah.
It's just well done.
And it's a shame he's wasting on the shitty gimmick, but it's fine.
A shitty gimmick? How is this a shitty gimmick? I think this is one of the better gimmicks I've seen on
Did
Wrestling
I
Today.
mention in the intro chat, the Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt was the most boring matches in Survivor Series history?
How is it boring? How is it boring? That match was...
Let's save some time.
That match was...
How's it not boring?
That match was exactly what it served to be. It was...
He no-sold everything.
That's his character.
It's boring.
Wait, when the Undertaker no-sold stuff early in his career, was that boring? That was part of his character.
It's different.
How is it different?
It's different.
That's not different.
It's different.
It's not different at all. It's the same thing.
He wasn't champion.
Undertaker was champion at one point.
But he wasn't champion with doing the whole no-selling thing. There was a kink in his armor.
Early in his career, that was early in his career, he no-sold. He did win a championship early in his career.
Not that early.
It was pretty early. It was within, the first year?
Not in the first 3 months, 4 months of this freaking...
Well, Bray Wyatt has been around for quite some time.
Not the Fiend?
Not the Fiend, I'll give you that.
It's just so... Oh, okay, whatever. Oh, so now I can predict next month's matches. Daniel Bryan hits him with everything. He gets up. He struggles for a little bit. He gets up. Boom. He wins. Same match I saw at Crown Jewel. Same match I saw at Survivor Series, SummerSlam. Okay.
No, Daniel Bryan was telling the story. The Yes Movement is back. He brought that back. That was cool to see.
Great.
There's some... what do you want, Putty?
The Miz? The Miz. Give me some of The Miz.
Well, I thought that was great. That was a great addition right there. This is long-form storytelling. They're obviously not done with the storyline. So The Miz being involved with this is a great addition. I cannot wait to see what happens now with The Miz. Is Miz and Dana Bryan, are they going to form an alliance now? Is something going to happen to Miz from Bray Wyatt's end? It's going to pump up Dana Bryan even more. What's going to happen? Is The Miz going to come save Daniel Bryan? There's a lot of questions now that are going to be played out. And I cannot wait to see.
It's the fact that the Fiend's undestroyable. It's just like...
Oh, he's going to get beat somehow, some way. I'm curious to see how it happens and who does it.
You know what's happening? When he does, fans are going to boo the crap out of it.
No, it's not. Yeah. Because only if they do it right. They have to do it right. They can't do it right away. It's got to be some sort of build. It's got to be something special. And I hope to God the writers don't fuck this up. Because when he does get beat, it's going to be fucking amazing. And then I'm curious to see how Bray Wyatt evolves from there, because he will.
Okay. Whatevs.
Oh, my God.
War Games, Survivor Series. I was actually home. I watched War Games. I think the first takeover I've watched since I was there in person at MSG a couple years ago. I knew nothing about NXT. My first time watching actually War Games. Not too bad. What a good pay-per-view that was.
Yeah?
What a great pay-per-view. I think Green Man covered it live on our Twitter.
He did, yes.
That was great. It was really well done, and it wasn't long. I think it was only like 4 matches, but those matches were fantastic.
Can I just say...
I think Damian Priest won me over in that.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I didn't know nothing about him until the NXT go-home show before that.
Rick Recon knows a lot about him.
Yeah. I'm like, there's something about this guy I like, and then he just won me over in that match. And great wrestling during this.
I want to say something about these NXT guys.
Okay.
You know, a lot of these guys performed in the War Games matches, the guys and the girls, and they went on the next night to Survivor Series and still stole the fucking show.
I think that's what Triple H mentioned, either, was it backstage or, I think it was the post-War Games conference call, live Facebook, whatever the fuck he did. They couldn't announce the Survivor Series teams for men and women because they didn't know who would survive War Games.
Right. And they probably meant that literally, because Lord knows how many injuries can happen in those matches.
And give credit to Adam Cole, baby, for taking that bump at the end.
Oh my God!
Because all he did was fall back. All
Yeah.
Ciampa did was fall back, but he had to trust Ciampa for protecting his neck.
Exactly.
So I don't know how tight Ciampa had to hold his freaking neck, but that was a huge bump. There's no padding in the bottom.
No.
There was nothing. They fell off the stage and fell into a bunch of boxes.
And he delivered a great match with Pete Dunne.
The next freaking night.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Like, all
Fantastic.
Everyone that performed the War Games to perform the next night, kudos. You've earned the respect of not me, not just Putty, but I think the whole wrestling community and everyone involved in wrestling. I mean, my God, that was just fantastic.
I'm going to repeat myself. Willie Mack won me over in Lucha Underground. You know what Willie Mack is?
The name sounds familiar, yeah.
He's a big guy who shouldn't fly around like he does,
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
but he does.
Yeah.
Like a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
And I equated him to Keith Lee because of the same style,
Yo,
build,
Keith Lee.
same build, same athleticism, like a big heavyweight, but runs around like a cruiserweight.
Keith Lee came out as a huge winner from Survivor Series weekend.
And not only War Games, but Survivor Series, this guy, Keith Lee, fantastic.
You know who surprised me the most, or not necessarily surprised me the most, but like was impressed me the most, I should say.
Okay.
Rhea Ripley.
Oh,
And
okay.
I said it for Survivor Series week leading up to it with her performance on NXT and SmackDown, and even just like her one-on-one with Becky Lynch, her back and forth with her. But man, Survivor Series weekend, holy shit, dude! I knew this girl was special, but my God, I think the whole world now knows how fucking special she is. Like,
Last week you put it, she's only 23.
only 23.
And Trish Stratus even said she's the future of the women's division.
Absolutely. I think Bully Ray, Bubba Ray said the same thing. I mean, this woman, she is a superstar.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree.
She's definitely the future of the women's division. I think maybe her time might even be now. You just got to ride that momentum hot.
Now, is there a difference between Raw, SmackDown, main roster, and NXT?
Is there a difference? Like, what do you mean?
Is there any call-up now? Is there, if you're on NXT, are you...
Well, I mean, the plan was apparently for Shayna Baszler to go in 2020, but now after the Survivor Series main event, Vince was very disappointed in it.
There is no... NXT is not the third brand anymore.
No, I mean, they made it very...
So if you go from NXT to Raw, you're not getting called up. You're just going to a different show.
They made it very clear that NXT is very important to them. Mm-hmm. And the way they built it. What do we say? NXT has to be built strong.
And they were. I thought NXT and SmackDown had to pick up victories, and they did.
Right.
I thought Bayley should have won that match, but they were saying, oh, if SmackDown wins, we tie. There's not going to be a tie, so you knew Bayley wasn't going to win.
But, I didn't see the ratings. What were the ratings for AEW and NXT this week? It didn't come out yet, right?
I'm sure they did. I didn't.
Because it's the holidays.
I didn't pick them up. Probably the holidays related, but
I'm curious to see what that looks like.
I'm curious too. I'm assuming if AEW lost, we would have heard it by now. Someone would have tweeted about it. But anyway,
but I'm curious to know because of the NXT fallout. I want to see how many people are now tuning into NXT. Because they did beat AEW the week before.
Yeah.
Because they had a hell of a go home show.
I mentioned last week. Maybe this is the momentum they need to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the way they finished Survivor Series weekend, I wouldn't be surprised if they hit over $1 million.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they beat AEW again and hit over $1 million.
Yeah, no, not yet.
Right.
But anyway, moving on. I like going to the Hall of Fame. I like watching the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
As a big wrestling fan, I like seeing how these characters, these men I've watched growing up, how they started. Hearing them out of character, hearing them how they got their start, how they formed their character. Not only the Hall of Fame, but interviews, the Stone Cold podcast, all these specials on the network. There's one guy who never goes to the Hall of Fame is The Undertaker because he never wants to break his character.
He's the Daniel Day-Lewis of wrestling.
Exactly. Well said. So when I found out he was going to do an in-depth interview out of character, bro, sign me the hell up. This is something I've always wanted to see.
Dude, I got to tell you, my wife, I can't stress enough, not a wrestling fan. She stopped what she was doing and watched that whole interview. She was amazed.
Because you've seen other guys out of character during interviews, but never The Undertaker. I'm sure you have here and there. There's a couple times he did one for some Christian church, not too long ago.
Right.
But for the WWE.
On the network with
put
Stone
out,
Cold. Yeah. I think that was another cool thing, too, because it was with Stone Cold, who... I think Stone Cold's a great interviewer.
The WWE never acknowledges Mark Calloway. It's always the dead man, the Undertaker.
Dead man, yeah, exactly.
He's never at the Hall of Fame.
Right.
To see him out of character is one something I was always looking forward to, and this did not disappoint. This is my biggest takeaway from the week, TV takeaway. And I actually wish it was longer. It was one of the longest interviews he's done, but I had to cut it down for TV. I want to see what hit the cutting room floor.
Oh, yeah, right? Like
that's one book I would love to read.
They can definitely like split that up.
Yeah.
But now Undertaker was fascinating.
Oh,
and you know what stood out about me? It's like, dude, he is so smart.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He is so smart. Like, because he really did own that gimmick. And he really did. He knew when to change the gimmick. He knew when he had to evolve it.
It was getting stale,
He knew when to go back to it. And the biggest thing that stuck with me was the less is more. Because he was talking about all the stuff he could do athletically.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we had to slow down his...
He had to slow it down.
Because as Mean Mark Calloway, he was... Or the Towers, or the Twin Towers, wherever it was. He was high-flying, jump off the top rope.
Right.
But as The Undertaker...
When it worked.
He had to slow that shit down.
Yeah, he had to slow down. He used like a Michael Myers pace, which, I mean, that fit the character 100%. And I also loved, and I could have guessed it too, the person that he went to, was Jake the Snake Roberts. A master.
I wouldn't have guessed that, but I wasn't surprised by it.
Master of psychology, and that's exactly what you need for this character, is to be a master of psychology.
If you have not seen The Undertaker, Broken Skull Sessions, definitely check it out. It's a must-watch for anybody, any wrestling fan, to see The Undertaker out of character.
I think wrestlers should watch this as well.
If
you're in the wrestling industry or you're thinking about joining the wrestling industry, I think this is something you need to watch because, my God, the stuff that he goes over, like, it should be a masterclass.
Yeah, masterclass. That's a good way of putting it, yeah. I mean, I'd love to watch this again.
I totally would.
Yeah. Let's do it right now.
Okay.
Let's do the 3 count first.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we have a 3 count.
Yeah, I think so. We have the rest of the show to do, right?
It's time for the 3 count.
All right, Mark. Talk about Lana and Rusev and Bobby Lashley earlier.
You know what we didn't talk about before? Batista and Dana Brooke.
All right, cut me off. Go ahead. Go for it.
I mean, how do you feel about this, Putty?
Lucky son of a bitch. Both of them. Both of them.
I'm surprised you didn't bring this up during the news. Like, basically, we're seeing a live Tinder session on Twitter.
So jealous about both of them. One of my man crushes is Batista. One of my woman crushes is Dana Brooke. Saw her in person. Beautiful woman.
She is a beautiful woman, yeah.
And I think they could work well together. You told me as we left last week's show that David Batista is broken up. He's single again. When I just saw earlier in the day that he's in a relationship, I'm like, what the fuck happened? But now he's single. I think they would work. They would look great together.
That'd be a very muscular couple.
Same mentality, same work ethic in the gym wise. Beautiful babies.
Oh, dude, they didn't even go on their first date yet.
And,
you giving them babies?
I'm a little hard right now. Yeah. So congratulations to both of them. And
well, we don't know yet. We don't know yet if they're going on a date or not.
If you need the wedding covered, hit me up at MarkJParty or inbox.wrestling.com. We'll see what happens. So in honor of them, all these couples we're talking about, you mentioned you want to talk about wrestling couples.
Yeah.
My first question to you, on screen or off screen? You mentioned both.
Hey, both. Fuck it.
Caution to the one, who cares?
Right.
So number 3, floor is yours.
All right. So
I hate to interrupt you because last week we had the same top 3 in different orders. I'm just looking forward to see what your top 3 is. I have no clue what you're thinking here.
Okay. So I really love them as a couple, man. I think they're hilarious. They're kind of opposites, but kind of similar at the same time.
Me and your mom?
I'll walk off right now.
No, you won't.
Fuck you, Dick. You have my keys.
That's right.
Dana Bryan and Brie Bella.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I
as an on-screen or off-screen couple?
Both.
Okay.
I really love that angle, actually, when they fought Miz and Maurice together. Okay. I thought that was really cool. You know, Dana Bryan helping Brie Bella with her new ring set, her new move set, I should say. That was cool. Then watching them on Total Divas and Total Bellas, and even listening to the podcast, I love how Dana Bryan does the Bella Brains. They completely support each other. I think they're a really cool couple, and their love is definitely genuine.
I would hope so.
Oh, you know, you see couples every now and then. It's just like, I don't know about that.
My number 4, because our personal top favorites.
Yeah.
I'm going to squeak in number 4, Booker T and Sharmell. Because I love King Booker. And see the Queen, Sharmell. I think they just worked well together. It was a great couple together. Number 3 is an on-screen couple, maybe, I guess, off-screen couple. They provided so much TV entertainment they were such must-see to watch. You stopped what you were doing to watch them on TV. The rated R superstar Edge.
Oh, I had a feeling you were going to say
and
it.
Lita. I mean,
Controversy, man.
because
That's a controversial couple.
and that's when Lita got like all like hot and like she was dressing on like clubby clothes and slutty clothes and
Is that really why you like this couple?
I
Yeah, I saw the smirk.
I said, "Tony, I love redheads." But just, they worked well together. They looked good together, and especially for his rated R gimmick, because Lita wasn't rated R, and then she just morphed into this rated R character.
No, you know what?
I think they worked very well together.
That was really cool. They did work very well together. The characters gelled. It did make you stop and watch.
Yeah.
Because you actually didn't know what they were going to do next.
You never did. And that live sex show, I'm like, what am I watching here?
Right.
What am I watching over and over and over and over and over and over and over? Oh, my
Okay, Putty, we get it.
Sorry. Got a little lost out of control here. But yeah, Lita and Edge, number 3.
Okay.
Number 2.
For me, me and my wife, I kind of see ourselves as this couple,
Okay, I think I know what it is. So go for it.
Miz and Maurice.
Ms. and Maurice, number 2, myself. Go for
Yeah?
it. Yeah.
Oh, man. Do you watch the show?
Love the show.
Oh, my God. It's great.
It made me fall in love with them on a different level.
Yes. Miz and Maurice have a very similar dynamic that me and my wife have, actually.
Oh, okay, yeah. I love their dynamic together.
Yeah, and like, when we watch together, it's just like, oh, my God. Like, the stuff that Miz does, like, she's like, oh, my God, you're so much like him.
Yeah.
And, like, the way how Miz kind of, like, pokes fun at him and has that relationship with him, like, oh, my God, Michelle, you're like her.
The way they just call each other and other things, and it's just, I love their
Yeah.
dynamic together, yeah.
The great dynamic. And their story, the story how they got together, it was awesome, too. Like, you know, from the Diva Search to then, just the evolution of their characters and them as individuals.
I think that's when Maurice is paired up with Teddy DiBiase Jr.
Right.
And not only, we were talking about Total Divas, I mean, not Total Divas, Ms. and Maurice, but on screen, they're a power couple as well.
Yeah.
So I think just these couple work well together. You believe that they're in love, because they are.
Oh, they definitely are. I mean,
And then you follow up with their storyline on Ms. and Mrs.
and Miz clearly is such a good husband, great father.
Great father, great wife, great mother, and you could tell how much they are in love with each other.
Oh, 100%.
If I can find my Maurice, hit me up, inbox, shotwrestling.com, or at my party on social medias. I mean,
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. So both of us, number 2. Okay.
so number 1, I think we're going to agree as well. But go for it.
Yeah? All right. Mine is Triple H and Stephanie
Triple H,
McMahon.
Stephanie McMahon, yeah.
Are you serious?
You told me you want to do power couples. I'm like, okay, I think of 2. And Triple H, Stephanie, first came to mind. Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth came second. But then the whole point of this is personal favorites.
Yeah.
And I love Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth.
I love them too.
They're the most iconic couple in wrestling history.
Yes.
But I was still too young to appreciate what's going on.
They were, and also, like, well, Lisa Sour Taste is like, it ended pretty bad with them.
Not even thinking about that.
Yeah.
But here we are recording the show Friday, November 29th. 20 years to the day when Triple H and Stephanie got married in Las Vegas.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, it's happy anniversary. But it's just the way they... I had to cut you off, so I apologize.
No, it's fine.
How this couple started out as a storyline,
Yeah.
which evolved into real life.
And it's cool hearing their interviews and how they talk about it.
Yeah. And you can tell, again, how much they love each other, how much they're each other's rock, and they support each other.
Yeah.
It just gives me hope.
And, you know, it's amazing because apparently, like, you know, Stephanie McMahon is like such a wonderful human being
Oh, yeah.
outside of WWE and definitely brings that side of Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, when they're together on screen, oh my God, they're like the most villainous couple in the world. It's amazing.
The McMahon Helmsley era.
But then they could also flip the switch and make you care so much. Like when Randy Orton DDT'd Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, yeah.
And
Right in
kissed
front of
her
him.
and kissed her like right in front of Triple H, who was handcuffed. Like, oh my God, you felt that. You felt that, man. It was just like, holy shit, Triple H is gonna fucking kill you, and I can't wait to see it. And then you know the stuff out off screen. You see the TV appearances. One of my favorite interviews I saw was like with both of them, Triple H and Stephanie, were in Jimmy Fallon, and they did the karaoke thing.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So Triple H and Stephanie sang the song from Momoa. What's that? Moana, excuse me. Yeah, dude, it was hilarious. If you haven't seen it before, you have to
I
check
think
it
I
out.
did see the clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And you can tell, like, Triple H obviously knew who were. It's like the back of his hand because he is a great dad, from what it seems like.
Do you think he has hopes of one of his daughters carrying his Levesque name, the Triple H name?
Maybe.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, clearly, wrestling is in their blood.
Yeah.
You know, these girls are going to grow up with wrestling in their blood. At least one of them is going to shine somehow, some way. You would think.
You would think, right?
You know, whether it's on screen or off screen. I don't know. I mean, that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, so we agree on our top two.
I know, dude. What the hell? I swear to God, we don't go over this beforehand. This just is a shock.
No, we don't.
Over
But
the air.
when I ask you to give me a topic for a top three, I'm like, you give me an easy topic, like boom, easy, and then usually we disagree.
Right.
But the last couple weeks we've agreed. Especially last week, for the first time ever, our top three was the same.
Right.
This week was kind of okay. You didn't pick much amendments, Elizabeth, because Triple H and Stephanie are so much more superior. Disagree with me.
They are a true power couple, man.
Let us know. Inbox shopwrestling.com. Dial it up 649-343-3005, or let us know on our social medias. You had on screen China, Eddie Guerrero,
Okay.
Stone Cold, Deborah, off
I don't
screen.
know if anyone's going to say that. Brock Lesnar, Sable, Nikki Bella, John Cena.
John Cena. Yeah, it's just so many couples to go with. But
I was going to say one, but that would have been in poor taste.
I can edit it out.
I don't think you will. I don't trust you.
Come on.
I was going to say Chris Benoit and...
Nah, I will edit it out. Yeah. I like that.
You're such a dick.
Well, that's our top three. Let us know your personal top three wrestling couples. Mark, do you have any going thoughts?
Yeah. So a friend of mine, sent me a text. I should load this up right now.
Another like a Hulk Hogan Ric Flair question?
Kind of.
Okay. I'm going to throw the rest of the show then.
He said, he sent me a text of a screenshot of something on social media saying, I haven't been wrong all decade, and I'm not about to start now. Top 10 wrestlers of the decade, 2010 to 2019.
I thought about doing that because our year in the awards are coming up.
Yeah.
Because it's the end of the decade. So, yeah.
So it goes on. Number 1, John Cena. 2, Chris Jericho. 3, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
No.
4, Roman Reigns. 5, Brock Lesnar. 6, Kazuchika Okada. 7, CM Punk. 8, Kenny Omega.
7, CM Punk.
9, AJ Styles. 10, Charlotte Flair. So, okay.
Oh, you took it down. Okay.
Yeah. So he says, CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan. Who is the bigger star of this decade? Because he was shocked that Daniel Bryan wasn't on that list. What do you think, Putty? Do you think CM Punk belongs on there, or do you think Daniel Bryan got ripped off? I mean, what do you think?
What's the exact question you're asking me?
Does CM Punk belong in there, or would you replace him with Daniel Bryan?
In the top of the decade?
Yeah.
I'll replace him with Daniel Bryan.
You replace him with Daniel Bryan?
Daniel Bryan had the strong. He was out for 3 years though. So was CM Punk though. But Daniel Bryan had a stronger on-screen appearance. He beat Evolution one night at WrestleMania 30, which isn't an easy undertaking. He left cleaner than CM Punk did. I'm never a big CM Punk fan.
Never at all.
No, never did. I like CM Punk, the man. The character I never got into.
Interesting.
So I like watching interviews. I like watching him doing the Talking Dead stuff and the backstage stuff, of course. But I think as for impact of wrestling, I think Daniel Bryan had a bigger impact.
Okay, so this is what my thoughts are on this. I'm a huge CM Punk fan, and I loved everything CM Punk did for wrestling, especially his transition of his character to...
And I respect the fact that he left to pursue UFC.
Yeah.
So I hear people shit on him for, like, he left to pursue a career you're going to suck at. Like, he didn't know he was going to suck at it. No one did.
He followed
his dream.
I followed his documentary for that.
I didn't know I didn't watch that. Okay.
Yeah, his like road leading up to it.
But like,
It
I'm
was
not a
really
CM
cool.
Punk fan, but people are shitting on him for that. I'm like, he wants to do this. That's his dream. Like Undertaker's dream. He wanted to do UFC.
Right.
But he was too old.
Yeah.
CM Punk wasn't.
And CM Punk was also burned out from wrestling.
Yeah, so
he was doing it since
props
he
to him
was
for following
young.
his dream. So why are you hating on this guy for following his dream?
Right. You know, I mean, Punk, he definitely had an impact in wrestling. And like, you know, the mic drop thing, the pipe bomb thing.
Pipe bomb,
was definitely controversial. The whole storyline with the contract. I mean, it was a cool thing. You didn't necessarily know what was going to happen. You know, he definitely captured the emotions of the fans, and some great storylines, great epic moments. But here's the thing: as much as I love CM Punk, I would have to say Daniel Bryan deserves to be in that spot.
Okay, good, yeah.
Because Daniel Bryan, he did the same, but he also had a hell of a comeback story.
One of the best of all time.
One of the best in sports history, which is up there with Roman Reigns. I mean, Roman Reigns had a hell of a comeback story as well.
Yeah.
But Daniel Bryan, you know, none of us ever thought we'd see him back in the ring again.
Nope.
And as you mentioned before, you know, with beating Evolution all in one night, the Yes movement was huge.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you know, talking mainstream-wise, I mean, Daniel Bryan, I think, hit more so mainstream than CM Punk did.
Absolutely. CM Punk is more of a niche
You know, say what
wrestling fan audience.
If the Bellas had something to do with that, say what you will, but the fact is, more people, I would say, probably know who Daniel Bryan is than CM Punk.
Nowadays, yeah, but back then, before Total Bellas, I don't think so. I think everyone knew equally.
No, I'm talking about people outside of wrestling, really. You know, it's just, if we're talking about who's the top 10 of the decade, that has to equate for something.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the brand power. I think CM Punk's brand power only reached a niche audience. I think Daniel Bryan reached more so of a broader audience, especially with his comeback story.
That's true.
You know, CM Punk, the only ones that cared about CM Punk coming back are wrestling fans.
Yeah, definitely.
No one outside of wrestling cares about CM Punk. Even, you know, CM Punk going to UFC, which was awesome. UFC fans didn't even care about CM Punk. Wrestling fans did. You know, so like I would say Daniel Bryan, hands down, deserves to be in that list more so than CM Punk. It pains me to say, but if I'm really breaking it down, yeah. So that's my go-home thought.
We're currently the show November 29th, which means next time, episode 191, when it gets posted, will be after BWF's Jingle All the Way, which we'll be there ringside for commentary. Are you ready for that? You over what happened last time?
Am I over what happened last time? No, I'm not over what happened last time.
Brother Greatness will defend against Chris Cage, the Cruiserweight title. Sebastian Cage goes against Ghost Shadow. Tyree Taylor will defend the New York City title against Monster Mac, who made his debut.
Bullshit.
The Satsujan Squad will go against Bronco Internacional and Manny Martinez for the tag team titles.
They deserve it.
And in your main event, TJ Marconi will defend against Eric Jaded in an I Quit match for the World Championship.
That's right. You notice we're all getting our rematches.
Except
Rick
Rick
Recon.
Recon. I did notice that. I'm like,
Which is complete bullshit.
that's weird.
How does Rick Recon not get a rematch for at least one of Tyree Taylor's championships?
Well, he was what? The 5 Boroughs champion and the UDES champion?
Right.
Now they merged it into the NYC title, and now I guess Tyree has a gorgeous title with Monster Mac.
But Rick Recon he deserves his rematch.
I totally agree he does.
I think this is Bush League.
I think all you guys do.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow. You agree with us.
And I assume all you guys are going to lose.
What do you assume we're going to lose? Why?
If it's fair and square, 1-on-1, maybe 2-on-2, you guys are going to lose.
Wait. How come you completely discredit the squad? And no matter what we do.
Because I have never seen you guys win fair and square 1-on-1.
Ever?
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
It's happened.
When?
It's happened plenty of times.
Name one time.
Name one time? Let's see. How about with Chris Barton, Dominic De Niro, BCW? They're in the finals now, by the way.
I'm talking about BWF.
Talking about BWF? I'm just talking about. You said ever. You said ever.
I said BWF.
You said ever. And I just schooled you. Lawyered.
No, I'm talking about BWF. Because you never won fair and square in BWF. And I give props to you. I think you guys should deserve to win the BCW tag team titles because you guys are one of the best tag teams ever.
Thank you.
No problem.
They are the best tag team ever.
I think you guys are better than El Jefe Bronco, fair and square.
Oh, but you think we're going to lose?
Yeah.
To El Jefe and Bronco? Why? If you just said that we're better than El Jefe and Bronco International, then what makes you think we're going to lose?
Because you guys can't beat fair and square 2-on-2.
Yes, we can. We're going to show you on Sunday.
I hope so.
Not Sunday. On
Saturday.
Next Saturday.
Maybe I hope so.
This Sunday is going to be the after party. You're not invited because of these little remarks you're making.
Oh, no. What am I going to do with myself? Have fun and enjoy my life? No problem.
Please, that's a lie. You never enjoy your life.
No, I don't.
You secretly want to hang out with us. You're jealous because you're not part of the squad.
It's not true. I can sleep at night.
Anyway,
Let's wrap things up. No, you can't. Anyway, let's wrap things up. How's your girl thoughts? Any final comments before we go downstairs and finish our drinks, sing some karaoke?
No, can't wait for December. Actually, our show's going to be airing in December, so let's rock out, close 2019 with a blast these next few weeks with all these interviews that Abel has coming up next. I can't wait, man.
Our year-end award shows. Any categories you guys want us to talk about? Any nominations you want to make? Inbox, sharpwrestling.com, or hit us up on the social medias. Dial up 619-343-3005. And, of course, all agreements interviews will be on our YouTube, A-Shot Wrestling, so definitely check it out. So for
the Hollywood Assassin, Marc Chouen.
For Green Man, Tristen Thai, a.k.a. Ikuro Kwon, I've been your host at Michael J. Putty. Until next week, Putty out.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I need to announce it's last call at the bar.
Well, everybody, we are back here, and just when you think you're done, they bring you back in, and we just still have a little bit more time with Tristen Thai. So, Tristen, this is how it's played. It's rapid-fire questions. The first thing that comes to your mind is the first thing you should answer. Are you ready?
I guess so.
Then away we go. Who is your favorite wrestler of all time?
Randy Orton.
Other than wrestling, what is your favorite sport?
Football.
What fictional character would you like to face in the ring?
Tommy the Green Ranger.
I'd like to see that, bro.
Only because I think it's more possible than anything else.
Totally. What is the worst job you've ever had?
Shit. I was a seafood clerk at a supermarket.
What's your favorite karaoke song?
Don't Stop Believing.
What is the best feature on a woman?
Oh, God. Ass.
You're an ass, man. Who is your celebrity crush?
My girl's eyes, though. I'll put that there. Celebrity crush. Damn. Who's that mom from Modern Family? The Spanish, the Hispanic one.
Sofia Vergara.
Yeah, she's bad. Yeah, her.
If you can change anything about yourself, what would it be?
Be taller.
What is your pet peeve in wrestling?
Fans thinking they can wrestle.
If your career ended tomorrow, what would you like to be remembered for?
Someone who didn't live with regret.
And finally, how much is it going to cost me to cut this check?
And we could talk numbers all day. Whatever you got, honestly.
Tristen, thank you so much for joining us on A Shot of Wrestling. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Have a great holiday. And thank you again for joining us on this episode.
I appreciate you guys. You likewise.
Hey, baby, I hear the bell ringing, hip tosses and body slams. Oh, my. And maybe you seem a bit confused. Yeah, baby, but I got you pinned. Ha, 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 ha. But I don't know what to do when I see them with that golden case. They're cashing it in. Authority all in my face. What is a man to do? Good night, everybody.